Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Again, Christian here and Gio, and we have a super cool special guest with us today. Her name is
Xochi. Hi, everybody.
Hey, how's it going, Xochi? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, guys.
Awesome. Tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? What are you all about? And yeah.
What do I do now, or how did I start and then get into this industry?
What are you doing right now? And then we'll get to that.
Okay.
How'd you start?
Okay. Right now, I'm just basically wholesaling.
Okay.
My main market is Florida.
Okay.
But I did start here in Vegas when it was hot.
Okay.
And it's died down a lot. So we shifted, and now I just work with Florida.
Which cities in Florida?
I do basically a little bit of everything in Florida. I don't just stay specifically because I
Okay.
do have a lot of buyers in different areas of Florida.
That's really cool. How long have you been working that market for?
I'm going on 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell us what happened. Like, why did you leave Vegas? Just for the people that want to start and they're thinking Vegas is their market.
Okay. So the reason for my shift is because about 4 years ago, Vegas was hot. We had a lot of inventory as far as fixer-uppers.
Yeah.
And the market got very saturated with wholesalers. And they got all these wholesalers and investors started just picking up all these properties at great deals. And we don't have that much. I mean, Vegas, people think it's big, but it's really not big. So now we don't have many houses out there, and the little that are out there, the people that own them want too much money for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able to pick up deals through the MLS back in the day, or what were you doing?
All MLS. I've always only done MLS.
Okay.
I've never done cold calling, door knocking, none of that. My mentor, she taught me how to just MLS.
Do MLS stuff.
Yes.
How do you do it? Like, what are you looking for in the MLS?
And distressed properties.
Like, do you look at the pictures? Do you look at the price? How do you search for them?
I just go through Zillow and I just filter out you use a lot of keywords because you're able to do that through Zillow. And you just look for distressed properties, and sometimes you can't see them. In Vegas, they were very easy to pick out distressed properties. But I'll tell you, in Florida, it's a little bit harder because I think just the way the area is out there, it's so much vegetation, so green. It's like,
yeah.
So you think a house needs work because of the outside of it. But then you go into the pictures and you're like, oh my God, they already redid this. It's just the way it is out there.
So do your maintenance, people. Cut your grass.
I think their rain doesn't allow it out there. Yeah, to keep up with it, it's pretty hectic out there.
In Vegas, we don't have grass. Do you water your rocks?
I do.
Every day.
I'm like spending money like that.
Well, I have cactuses, so I got
You do?
water. Yeah, got a
That's
few
nice.
of them. Yeah.
So why did you pick Florida instead of another state, instead of different states?
Good question.
Why did I pick Florida? Actually, I don't think I just picked Florida.
Florida picked you.
Florida picked me. And also, like I said, my mentor and my partner at the time, a lot of her buyers were in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you cater to the demand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Do you think you recommend for people to do that? Like, to find the demand first and then start marketing and acquiring, or the other way around? Start acquired it, get it under contract, and then find your buyer. What would you recommend?
Honestly, in the 3 years that I've been doing this, if I could start all over, I would pick my market, do my research on the market, the demand that's there, get my buyers, have solid buyers, and then go and look for the properties and lock them up.
Bam.
It makes it 90% easier.
Really?
How do you establish a good relationship with buyers?
How do you establish that? I think the way that I've been able to do that is by communication, being open with them.
Okay.
Just not being, you want to get to a point where you get personal with them.
Okay.
Because it shows them that you are not just there for business, that that they matter, that it's not you trying to make money off them, that, if they're having a bad day and you sense it in their voice, that you realize you capture and you tell them, is everything okay today? The family good? Little things like that, because sometimes we don't get personable with them. We just business, straight business. And I think we lose that. And there's a lot of investors out there that they're like, oh, she's just, for the money. They look at you differently. You want to build a solid relationship. You want to make sure that you let them know that you understand that they're human like I am. They have feelings, they go through things just like we all do. And that if they're having a bad day, maybe they snapped at you and they normally don't, that you're not going to take it personal and be like, oh, well, this guy's a jerk. I don't want to work with him anymore. That's not the case.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion.
Here's a question I have.
Yeah.
You know how on Facebook, on the Facebook groups, for example, because I was gonna ask about how do you find your buyers? Follow that question. You know how my way of like, all right, how do I find buyers? I was thinking like I would just put on Facebook. And you put I have even if you lie, I have a deal, this zip code, this price, this ARV. Who's buying? Have you seen those?
Yeah.
And everybody starts, hey, send it here. Oh, I'm interested. Hey, this, and that. But based on our experience, more than half are not serious.
Oh, more than half.
Like
90%.
Yeah, probably 90%. So how do you filter those buyers in the strategy that you're using? How do you do that? Or do you not even do that? You just blast them out to those?
To answer that question, when I started, it did get into that where you were just getting all these hits and they were just a wholesaler like I was. Mm-hmm. They were just fronting, and that is the name of the game. Everybody fronts, and it gets very hard and difficult to work in that industry when you are thinking you're dealing with a buyer and in all reality it's another wholesaler, and then your deal falls apart. Why? Because you've already put your assignment and they're adding 2 times the assignment that you already have, and it's not going to move that way, right? So now what I've learned from that is that I ask them questions. I just don't send them all the information just to send them. I'm like, okay, are you an actual buyer? If you're a wholesaler, I make it very clear to them, I'm okay if you're a wholesaler, but I need to know who you really are. So then I know how to approach it and let them know, okay, look, this is the spread. If you want to add an additional fee or JV, whatever it is, this is what it is, because I don't want them to jeopardize my deal. Right. So I ask the questions. Okay. And also I've gone to the extent now that I also ask them, okay, so if you're a buyer, can you provide me with addresses? And then they provide me of addresses. They send me addresses. I ask them their LLC. So I go in and I use Privy. Mm-hmm. Not throwing out anything for Privy, but I use them, and then I look up their the property and see if that's who the buyer was.
Okay.
So you start to learn that you gotta do your research.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets sticky when you don't. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a VA do that, or you do that for yourself?
I've always done it myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So what percentage do you think out of all those people that hit you up, like, hey, I'm a buyer, what percentage are real buyers?
Very little. Very little.
Like 10%?
If that.
Really?
If that, yes.
It's going to be generous. I'm going to say like 20%.
No.
Going to do the 80-20
No. Rule. I've learned just from my experience that your typical buyers that are really buying are not going through Facebook and looking for deals. No.
Yes.
Usually too, the people that are actually interested, they'll call or text right away.
Yeah.
They'll want to get on the phone.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to tell you, oh, send me an email. You'll send the email and you'll never hear back from them ever.
Yes.
Yeah, send me the details. Here's my email. Like,
yes.
Do that.
Yeah.
If you're serious, you're going to call. Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with the deal that you saw that we just posted, that my daughter actually is like, Mom, let me market it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she's all into it because she took 2 years, her first 2 years of high school. She took marketing.
Yeah.
And so she's all like, I want to show you what I know. And I'm like, hey, go for it. So she put it together and she marketed, and that buyer actually reached out to me.
Because of the
and he didn't message me. Yeah, he didn't message me. He saw it and he just gave me a call and we talked, and he gave me his address of the recent property that he just sold. So yeah, it panned out pretty good.
Nice.
That's awesome. What did she do? Put her on Facebook or? or she created like a whole campaign for it?
Post.
No, she just did the poster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I just put it all on the different media sites that I follow. I mean, social media sites I follow.
Okay.
Yeah. I try mainly to use like the private ones that I have, just because you know who they are, and it's already. Once you start putting them in all these other public Facebook sites, you just get hit up with so many random, and they're gonna be wholesalers.
Yeah.
They really are. Yeah.
And then it gets confusing because it's happened to me before where I was marketing mine. Then another guy's like, "Oh, can I market it? Or I'm a buyer." So usually they just grab everything that you have and then they just stack on an extra 5K and they try to sell it again. So then the buyers get confused, like, wait, so is it your deal or your other deal, or is it whose deal is it?
Yes.
Yeah, and then they say, wait, I've seen this one somewhere else for cheaper.
Yes.
And then that's what they go, oh, I think you guys are scamming us.
Yes, it's a big problem. Right now, wholesaling has gotten very saturated, and also there's been just too many people jumping on the bandwagon without knowing how to work the industry.
Well, it was COVID, Xochi.
Huh?
Everybody jumped into, because nobody was working. Everybody jumped into like what they thought was gonna generate money. You know how many realtors we had?
Yeah, a lot.
During those times, like everybody was a realtor or a lender those days, and then they started dying out in 2022. So you start seeing people going back to their old jobs, like, oh, real estate did not work.
It's rough.
Yeah. And I'm okay with it. I just think that I would have more respect for you if you actually did your research. You know, just what it is that they listen in onto a lot of these videos that are misleading.
Yeah.
Right?
It's easy.
Like, it's easy. Quick money, you know, quick 10,000 assignment,
That's
blah,
rough.
blah, blah. And so they're out there, and now what's happening, like for us, it's harder with MLS than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these agents are getting ghosted. You know, they're putting houses under contract, and then they ask for a 7-10 day inspection period, and then they don't even reach out to the agent and say, I still don't have a buyer, or they're telling them that they're the buyer, and then guess what?
It's not them.
Yep. And then they lose the contract. And so now you have all these agents that are getting upset because now they've lost 10 days with this property locked up and nothing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it does. It gets very hard. So sometimes I sympathize with a lot of the agents, but then I think some agents take it a little too far.
The thing, it's hard because this happened to us before where we put in an offer, you know, and we're like pretty much going back and forth because especially here in Vegas, like we do mostly creative. So you go back and forth, right, to get to the sweet spot of like when there's an actual deal. And then there's like some person that comes in, oh, you know what? I'm just going to give 20% down. And I'm like, the majority of the times it's not going to close because it doesn't make sense for nobody except for the seller. And they just do that to tie up the contract. And then they try to negotiate while being on the contract. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, like you could do that, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna, you know, close on that deal. You're wasting their time, you're wasting our time, and nobody's happy. Because then like you said, the agent's like, no more creative. Like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. It really messes it up for like people like you guys and like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it puts a bad name out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it does get harder. And if you look at a lot of these houses that are distressed through the MLS, you'll have some agents that'll put on the comments, you know, no wholesalers.
Yeah.
Or no inspection period. Or non-refundable EMD. Yeah. But it's like, I just think the whole caveat of the 5,000 non-refundable, I don't think it's correct. Because there's a reason why you do an EMD and you do your inspection, right?
Yeah.
But once again, it's just when you have a lot of these newbies that are not doing their work or their research, or also they get scared. They don't have somebody to walk them through, guide them, and say, you know, don't be afraid. You know, be upfront with the agent. Say, you know, look, I'm going to wholesale this. I work with, you know, buyers, investors. Tell them, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're upfront with them and they know from the get-go that you are going to, sell it to somebody else, another investor, usually they work really well with you.
Yeah.
It's being that transparency there.
Yeah.
It's very important.
That's good.
I was gonna say something, I forgot. This always happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good business model. I think communication is key.
Yep.
And yeah.
I remember
go.
what I was gonna say. So you know how you said some people ask for non-refundable EMD? We do that, but I tell them, like, if you haven't seen the house first, I'm not gonna take your contract. I need you to go see the property, because once you see it and you put an EMD, that's non-refundable. So we do it that way, but I force them to go see the property. If you send me an offer, a blind offer we call it, it's not getting accepted. So don't even, because we don't want to take your money without you looking at the property.
It's also different because like I said, we do the majority of our things are creative. So the thing is this, for wholesale, like, you find the buyer and that's it. But for creative, what we found is that people will lock up contracts with no risk to them, right? And they'll try to wholesale it all the way till the end, right? So that puts us in a bad position because we need to know, like, hey, like, are you gonna buy it? And they're like, no, we're trying to find a buyer. So it just puts in a bad position.
Yeah.
So that's what we do, non-refundable EMD.
Oh, it makes sense. And once again, it goes back to, like, building your list of, investors, your buyers, building the relationship both ways. With you guys that are, wholesaling sub 2, which is a whole nother beast.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it that much. Because, a subject to transaction, like I haven't mentioned it before, you're kind of married into that transaction for years. Like a wholesale transaction, you're done with it, sign the contract, ready to go, goodbye.
Yeah.
Subject to, like, there could be issues down the line.
And it comes back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't know all the red tape behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it works for both sides, whether it's sub 2, whether it's wholesaling.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than what the little clips that you're getting from these videos you're watching.
The gurus.
Yes, for sure.
Just make 30K your first month.
Right.
That's what they say, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yep.
I'm gonna send them to you.
I need to make some.
Yeah. So with wholesaling, for me, because it got so hard out there on the market, is why I started learning sub 2, because I wanted to be able to have other exit strategies.
Yeah.
Because if I'm already looking at a property and it doesn't work as a wholesale offer, cash offer, then, maybe it'll work as a sub 2.
Yeah.
Or seller finance or creative.
Or creative finance, basically. That's what it would be.
Question for you. So from your experience, we've done one deal together.
Yes.
And we were about to do another deal,
Yes.
but I don't know what happened there. So what was your experience with that one? I always, and that's one of the things I'm always like, oh my God, once you give up the contract, you give up the power, and now it is up to the seller, right? To decide yes or no. So that's where I always have issues. So what was your experience with that one? The one we had in Texas? And what did you learn from that?
The Texas deal. Let me see. Was it really a deal? At the beginning, I felt it was. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't we find like something else?
So
last minute.
So we were gonna give him a fee, right? And then he had a lien on the property.
Oh yeah, tax lien.
Yes.
So it always happens to where, like, the people are so happy to sell the thing, to catch their fee. Like, let's say $20,000, and they're excited and happy about it, but they for some reason forget to tell us that they have a lien that's like 10K, 15K, but their assumption is like, oh, there's a lien, so you should cover it, and it's like, that's not a deal anymore.
That's part of the closing costs.
That puts us in the different part of the market. So yeah.
What happened to that one?
What happened to that one is
somebody else bought it?
No. He hasn't moved because nobody wants to pay for that lien.
Okay.
Because that's a $15,000 lien on top of his,
30,
what we were going to offer him.
Yeah.
So I think he's just trying to see other avenues out, or maybe he ends up paying the lien, but right now he hasn't done anything with it. But what I did learn is, you know how you guys, I've heard through the sub 2 community, or Pace even say it all the time about that, what is it? Buyers are liars, but sellers are worse, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because when I discovered the liens on the property and I brought it to his attention, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was a full-blown 2 days of denial.
Oh,
and then,
not there.
Yeah.
And it was a tax lien, right? Like federal taxes.
His taxes that he hadn't been paying.
They-
Yeah.
they-
And it's like, how do you not know that? I could have seen if it was something different, but it's like, this is like the IRS. You owe them money.
Yeah.
I remember now that he was like, you know what? I could probably do payments, right? And I'm
Yes.
yes, but not after you sell. Like that's
No.
before you sell. You should have been
Exactly.
doing that for
Yes.
a while now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he tried to give me the song and dance of, I spoke with somebody and they said that I can go ahead and make payments to them so we can proceed. I'm like, no, that's not how it's going to work. Oh, and they said that they would remove the lien. I'm like, no, they're not going to remove the lien. That's the only collateral that they have. You know, that's how they're going to get their money. They're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's embarrassed and that's why he's not reaching back.
Should follow up
We have.
and nothing.
No.
Nice.
So
Change the number. Burnerphone.com.
Maybe he's making good money. I mean, he is, you know, relocated in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's got a really good job, so maybe he's able to afford both. If it'd be smart of him, because that area is a nice area, and right now it booms around this time. I mean, they make a lot of money. His property, he could probably make $250 to $300 a day just on Airbnb. And he's got all those rooms. You know, he's got the mother-in-law headquarters, whatever they call it.
Pool home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was pretty cool property.
It was. I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to keep it for myself.
I know.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into this, Xochi? What made you do wholesaling? You said you've been doing this for 3 years.
Yes.
So
Yes.
What happened?
She saw a Facebook ad.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no. Actually, my girlfriend that I met out here in Vegas, we connected, and she started to.
Wait, what's her name? Is that the
That's
real tech?
Eva Sasso.
No.
Batty Panur.
Yeah. Is that her?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. She's my bestie as well. So we connected and we became really close friends. And then she decided, I started Airbnb with her. I started managing her Airbnbs out here. And then she decided to buy an RV and go traveling across country.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And as she was doing that, she came across wholesaling. And so she learned it. And then she called me up one day and she's like, you want to make more money? And I'm like, I'm always up for making more money.
No.
And she's like, you're going to grasp onto this quick. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, we Zoomed and she taught me everything. And then we joined astro flipping.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we joined astro flipping and we learned from there and it took off from there.
That's
and
awesome.
We're still really good friends.
She's still traveling around?
Actually, she parked it. I want to say it's been a little bit over a year.
Okay.
She actually sold her fifth wheel on Creative Finance.
Oh, nice.
She did that, and then she bought a house in Florida, and she stayed in Florida.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. And she loves it out there.
Do you love it out there?
Depends on the time of year that I go. So it's very humid sometimes.
Oh, the bugs. Oh my gosh, she would crack me up.
Bugs don't bother me. Just the humidity.
Humidity?
No, those bugs are no joke. Yeah, when she was staying in the fifth wheel and she'd call me and she's like, oh my God, this is happening. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this. No, I just couldn't. Yeah, no, but kudos to her. She's amazing. She's very smart. And you know, you follow her and she's got the whole tech now. Yeah.
That's actually like the one CRM. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the integration that she's got into that, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, that took a long time, I'm pretty sure.
It did. And she like literally closed herself in her room. She's got her little office and she just went ham and she created a beast because that thing is crazy. I don't think anybody has matched her yet.
No.
Yeah. That whole AI is crazy.
That actually is like automated, like
Straight up AI.
Yeah.
Nice. What's give me her number? I'll hire her.
You will not be able to afford her. Home dog.
Yeah, and she won't work for anybody.
Yeah.
She is
out of
solid
your league,
herself.
bro.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yep. So I always recommend anybody talks about CRMs or any applications like that.
She's a beast.
Yeah. I look into her, look at her videos. She has a lot of content out there, and it's very beneficial content too.
Why did you decide to do this?
Why?
Why did you say yes to it?
For me, I love learning new things. Real estate was always one of my things when I was younger. That I'm like, oh, I want to do real estate. But unfortunately, I took other avenues in my life, and I got married too young, and I got a really good job. So kind of real estate took the back burner. Mm-hmm. I never continued. And then now that I came back around, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? Because there's so many opportunities. I think people don't realize the power of real estate, because there's so many avenues in real estate. And I'm shocked that I've met so many real estate agents that don't even own properties, that haven't invested, or that they don't even understand it completely. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel I have more knowledge than they do when I'm speaking to them. So it's crazy. I like to really dive in when I'm learning something. Yeah. That's one thing that I'm very scared of, like talking to someone about something and then they like start quizzing me and then not have the answer. And then I'm like, oh my God, I just look like a fool. So I always tell everybody, like even Bev and Shar. Yeah. They're amazing girls, right? So they're asking me my opinion. I was very blunt with them. I'm like, you're doing it wrong. It's like, and I know it's not wrong. It's the way the mentorships that you sign up to teach you, but that's just educational.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really what.
It's theory.
Yes. Yeah. So I just broke it down. I said, look, just do this and this and this. If you do this, you're going to be solid. It works. Yeah. So that's a lot of it that you really, really, the important thing for you is whatever market you choose to do, you got to really understand the market. You're going to get a lot of respect from agents or anybody out there that you wholesale if you really know what you're selling them and you know the market. Don't just say, oh, the property around the corner was sold for this much. No, know the specifics of it. Yeah. But some people don't take it to the heart, or pride in it. They're just like, oh, I'm just going to make $10,000. Yeah. That's how they look at it. And to me, I look at it different. I'm like, it's not even the assignment. It's the passion that I'm finding behind real estate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think how do you think you got into real estate? Like that love or that passion for real estate?
How do I think?
Where do you think you got it from? Did you see it? Did you learn it? Why?
No, I just love houses. And I love interior decorating. Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay. I think, and I took interior design when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. So that was one of my things. So I love houses. The architect of it, what you can do to them. And then back then that's what it was. But now it's like, there's also so many ways that you can make investments, retire on buying properties and like what you guys do, pad split and all that. So you can earn some passive income. Yeah. So other ways, and some people don't look at it that way. Even like rentals, if they're just rentals, you have so many other options to turn the rentals if it's not working as a rental. A lot of people, I know, like I had people say, oh, why you want to buy property and then rent it out? You're going to be a landlord and then they're going to destroy your property. But
oh my God.
It's like, I don't think that's a good way to look at it. And that's just people that are not educated on all the opportunities that you can use a property for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I want to say people avoid responsibility. So to them, like that's I don't know what you call it. That's something else they need to worry about, which I understand it is, but they don't realize how much. If you own a property for 10 years, like let's just leave the cash flow to a side. It doesn't matter, but like the amount of equity you're gonna have to build up into that property is gonna be massive.
But it's because they don't know that.
Yeah.
Like, did you know what equity was when, for example, you were in college?
I'm just kidding.
So
if I did know it, I just didn't understand it.
It didn't click.
It didn't click.
It didn't click.
Right.
And once again, it's the lack of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes across the board
Yeah.
for
You don't-
everything.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like once you live it, like for example, to me, it hit me when COVID hit.
Yeah.
Right after that, and the Vegas market was kind of like not dead before that, but it was just like nobody really was investing before that. Like when you said it was like open,
Oh yeah.
I remember that because I would try to buy a house, and it was like 2 offers, 3 offers tops. Then COVID came, freaking market went from like say $200,000 to $300,000 in one
Right.
go. If you had properties, let's say you had 5, each one of them gained $100,000. You just made $500,000 by chilling at home.
Or
Yeah.
Like 30% appreciation.
That's
in-
something
in
crazy.
A year or less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that real estate could do for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I was getting outbidded by Enzo. Do you guys know Enzo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
No? Oh yeah, he's big here.
He's a broker? Or
Yeah, he has his own brokerage. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, who did it? Enzo. I'm like,
They do a lot of flips.
yes.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't know how he buys. He buys them like with very low margins. He probably does the same as the other people for
Yeah.
the
Volume,
hmm
10K, 20K.
Yeah.
We just recently learned that some people buy, some investors buy
hmm
because they buy volume.
hmm
They're okay with making 10, 15K
20.
on a flip,
Yeah.
20. And for us, it's like, that's super risky. We want at
Yeah.
least 40.
Well, he's already has a built up
Yeah.
Crew and
through
everything.
everything.
Has a
Oh yeah.
systems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
we
he
just-
bought a lot during when I started. Him and Ryan Panetta.
hmm
He was another one of the competition out there. They just bought a lot.
Yeah.
They did. They bought a lot of the area. And he did a lot of nice flips too. Those flips were nice. Enzo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. You already knew once you walked in
It's like
through
this
the pictures.
Enzo's.
I'm like, oh yeah. It'd just go down. You looked and you're like, oh, that was Enzo.
How did you know? Like, what was the signature?
It was the decoration, the black.
Okay.
He did a lot of the black, really modern.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Good job.
Some people do like colored doors.
Yes.
Like Flipper that I've seen. I showed a couple of their properties. They do like a yellow door,
Mhm.
and they do like all the finishes are the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The design like top black cabinets, bottom white cabinets with I was gonna say Celsius for some reason, quartz.
Mhm.
Course
Yeah.
current top. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's you can tell like they use the same design.
Okay.
Design. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it belongs to them. Yeah. For
So
sure.
that ties into about a little bit of about with this question, like why are you doing this? Where'd you get the passion for real estate? So let's assume it was something that you were raised with or you learned throughout the years. So what's something that you disagree about the way you were raised?
The way I was raised. Well, I guess maybe one of them coming from immigrant parents.
Mm-hmm.
They felt that the only way to succeed in the United States was you have to go to college. And I disagree completely with it. Like, if my daughter says she doesn't want to go to college, I'm
Fine.
good with it. And because I really don't think that spending all that money is smart because you're not learning what the real world is really about.
Did you go to college?
I only did a year.
When was this?
Oh my gosh, really? You're gonna that's gonna
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
everybody my year.
No, because the reason I'm asking is because it's different. So
Yeah.
I was looking at a video. I don't know if it's a video or a book
Mm-hmm.
where depending when were you born, college makes sense. For example, if I think I'm gonna try to quote this book or video, but for example, if people were raised in during the wars where there was like a lot of unknowns, the known was the job, so they wanted a secure job other than entrepreneurship, right? So that was like the attractiveness back then. So it depends on the era. Right now, like the same thing you said.
Yeah.
Would I want like any of my nephews to go to college? It's up to them because I was talking to this guy Like I had fun in college. I probably did not learn like what was I supposed to learn, but I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about things. So it's a benefit. Like you don't know what you don't know until you start digging into it. So college right now, if one of my nephews or my niece asks me, I'll say like, it's up to you. I would just go to network and learn little things that you want to dig into deeper. Like I think she wanted to get into business.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, it's good if you're gonna network with other people that want to do business, and you're gonna learn more about like financials. Like we don't know a lot of stuff about financials, like how to, right? We just met.
Yeah, that got lost.
We just met a financial guy, and he was showing us like,
thing.
Wow.
he was showing us that our business is like not as great as we thought it is.
Mm-hmm.
So he was showing us with numbers like, hey, this is how you analyze your business. This is how you make sure it's a healthy business.
Mm-hmm.
And he was showing us how to do it. So like, I don't know this.
Like it's different. Like for example, like we could underwrite a deal really well, and we could perform it, and we could even have a performing asset, right? And you would think just because you have a bunch of performing assets, you'll be doing good in business, but it's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
Right. So we're too zoomed in, like, oh, a good deal, let's keep it. A good deal, let's keep it. A good deal, let's get a loan and keep it.
Right.
Good deal, like, let's keep on doing this. But
Yeah.
you have to really zoom out and be like, okay, like, is this investment benefiting the business as a whole?
Right.
Or should we do this instead?
Right.
So that's what we're missing, like a big chunk of that.
Yeah. So back when I was in school, I graduated in '89. So back then, I remember in high school, we did have home economics. They did teach us how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook. So you did get taught, which these things are not even used anymore. I mean, you can ask some of these new kids, do you know how to write a check? And they look at you like, what are you talking about?
This is like Zelle.
But
Exactly.
But it's funny, but it's important because, for example, it's funny. I graduated as a computer engineer and everything. You think like you have like knowledge, but I don't know. I don't remember who it was. I had to go and mail something.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't even know where to start with that. Like, so I just grabbed the thing and I took it to the mail thing. And they're like, what is this? I'm like, well, I have the address. So like, you tell me what to do. Like, what the heck do I do?
Yeah.
So pretty much it helped me out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But essentially what I'm saying is like, if you don't use it, like there's a lot of skills that you need to be looking for out there.
You don't lose it, you lose it.
Yeah. And that too.
Yeah. No. And like I said, I did a year college. I felt like I was still in high school because I felt like I was going around the same topics because, you have to get certain credits. So instead, I went to a short-term career, and I took banking.
Oh,
so I did banking for 7 years, and I loved it because I love working with math, numbers.
Yeah.
And I was really good at it. So my first job was at Security Pacific. You guys won't even know what that bank existed because then they got bought up by Bank of America.
Okay.
So I did banking for 7 years until my third bank robbery, and then I just...
What?
Yeah.
That was... Jesus.
Yeah, that changed my whole career. No, I'm in California.
Dang,
in California.
3 bank robbery.
3 bank robberies,
3?
Yeah.
Dang.
So after my third one, I was a branch manager, and I decided this is it. This is not for me. So I did a quick shift, and again, I took another short class. I took business applications, and I learned how to, that's when they started with all the new business applications like, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So I learned how to do that, and I got hired with a German company. And I worked in one, they were do subcontracts, and I became a project manager for Hewlett Packard. And then from there, I moved on to their second contract that they got was Microsoft.
Okay.
So I did Microsoft up until I left the company from having my child. So I was with them for almost 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was a project manager.
That's
and
pretty
then,
cool.
Yeah, after my daughter, she turned 3, and I decided to be a stay-home mom because it was my only one chance. One daughter, that's it. So I decided to do the stay-home mom thing, which was hard because I've worked since the age of 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an adjustment. So now with all this stay home and you can work, it's amazing. I love it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Do you love working from home?
I can't concentrate when I work from home.
You get distractions.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference though. You know, my
But my
husband goes
baby's
to
like,
work.
you
But
know,
still,
he
it is a
cries.
distraction.
Yeah, it
though.
is.
It is hard. So for me, I think it's easier because now my daughter is in school. So,
Yeah.
you know, I drop her off by 7 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
So I'm
You get to work.
Yes. And the house is, nobody's there except for my dog.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you have family at home, it is a big distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. You need that space. You need to find that space in your home and everybody has to respect that space and not just because you're home.
Yeah, that's hard, you know, because you want to help out, but at the same time you have to work.
Yeah.
And to get into the flow of things, it's not like you could just click in. You get me? You need to like 10 minutes of a warm up and to really click in.
But that's the thing. You have to train yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to take that, how do you say, you respect your time.
Yeah.
Because if you don't respect your time, nobody else will.
Yeah.
So if you're working when you're supposed to be working and then they're coming in and you're allowing it, or you're stepping out during your work hours when you shouldn't,
that's why I'm
then
out.
that's where it all just goes to crap. Yeah.
That's why I have to go to the office or like the shop because I can't like do that.
Yeah. It's hard to remove yourself. Yeah. If you can't remove yourself, you're better off. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
to answer my question, what's something you disagree with the way you were raised, other than, so your parents you were saying that your parents kind of like push you to do college?
Yes. Yes. Your education was very important for your future.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of disagreed on that.
Okay.
But then I just think the way we're raised, I mean, I don't know if you can relate to that.
What did your parents do?
My mom used to work for American Airlines.
Okay. How about your dad?
And my dad actually, he owned a restaurant in Chicago.
Okay, that's really funny. So,
Yeah.
and this is the weirdest part. And I'm not sure they sold the idea to people. So, my grandma, she used to run a lending business in Ecuador. She was very like good at it. Then all of her kids, which is my mom and my aunts and uncles, they went to school to get a degree. So they have they're not entrepreneurial whatsoever.
Right.
But if you look at like the success, my grandma like beats them all. So I'm like, why?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
So my grandma tells my grandparents are farmers, right? That's how they started, farmers. So my grandma tells me that they would work all day in the field, with crops and stuff, right? And when the time to harvest came, they would harvest, and because the economy was not doing so great, let's say corn. The corn was not paid so well. The price was not great.
Yeah.
So they basically work for, I don't know how long it takes, but let's guess 3 months. They work for 3 months for free. So whatever they got back in that harvest was the amount of money they spent.
Okay.
So she said, I prefer to work for somebody
Knowing that is a sure thing.
knowing that it's a sure thing, that I'm not second guessing, that I'm not guessing or expecting a profit or fighting for a profit. So I prefer to work for somebody, get my check, put it in the bank, than to work for 3 months and potentially not make anything.
So for them, it's more like a secure, sure thing.
Yes.
That's what they wanted for their kids.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that was because the economy wasn't doing so great. So it was a risk for them, and they were not willing to take it because it was hard labor too. Okay. Like if you put it into perspective, like you did hard labor, backbreaking labor for nothing.
Yeah, that's rough.
Then but if you do like what we do, like contracts, we're just sitting there doing that. Yeah. I mean, it's still frustrating, but we're just sitting, not doing,
negotiating.
Yeah.
Negotiating, being on the computer. Right. Like, let me take a break, social media, then back to it. With them, no, it was like, she tells me the story that she would wake up at 5, it was 9 of my brothers and not uncles and aunts.
Mm-hmm.
There were 9 of them. So she would wake up early, get the ones that were school, that went to school, ready for school, send them to school, and then grab the babies that couldn't go to school, get them ready, go to the field, work the field, come back, feed everybody, cook for everybody, clean. Like she said that it was a hassle. So, and you worked that time for free.
Yeah,
that's rough.
She said
it is rough. Yeah.
So it depends on the perspective.
Yeah.
So and that did not affect like what the position that my dad took, because he took the farming again, like he took over.
And how's I mean, he's been doing it.
He's doing it better because he had a little bit of education, so he knew how to negotiate a little better, do estimates, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then because I saw that he never worked for some. I mean, when I was conscious about what he does, I saw that he didn't work for anybody. I didn't want to work for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried it, and I'm not a good employee.
Yeah.
So this is not for me.
Yeah, I think I learned that.
And I went to college. So because I thought, I'm gonna be an engineer. I'm gonna be rich.
The thing too is like one of those things like when that, not technology, what would you say? When the careers were coming out, like I remember my mom's a systems engineer, a computer engineer background too. So when she was coming out, like all her classmates, all her class were like one of the first ones to come out. So like they were like very high demand. So like they were paying really well.
Right.
So, but just imagine from then to like, let's say now, there's a lot of technology. A lot of demand has been like pretty much gone or whatever. So like pretty much the jobs that pay the most are going to be the newest thing that's coming out. Like right now, AI or data science and stuff like that, you're going to get paid well. But at the end of the day, do you want to do that or do you want to own your own business?
I think own your own business.
At this point, I don't know. I'm like right in the middle.
I still don't know. I think if we really start thinking about how all these other businesses and people that we work for, they were started from somewhere.
Yeah.
They didn't have it.
Yeah.
Just like us. They worked to get what they were, and then they went ahead and hired employees. So it's the same concept. And I think that we don't get trained or taught to do those things. We're always educated. Everybody's always telling you, you got to go to college, you got to get out, and then you got to go work for somebody. Why?
Yeah.
And just to answer your question again about, the whole parenting, I think it's a little harder for me because my mom was basically a single parent because my parents separated. And so my biological dad was hardly in the picture, but I think that's where I got the whole entrepreneurship because he did it for so many years.
Yeah.
And that's what that was his background. His parents came back also from the farming, from where they're from and stuff. And then my dad now, he came into my picture at 15, but I've never addressed him as like my stepdad or anything because he's never been that to me. He's actually been more of a father figure than my own father. So that's why it's hard to answer that question, like where, because they weren't really present your entire life. So it's always my mom's leadership. She was my mom and dad for so many years, and it's like, go to school. You got to go to school in order to succeed, and you got to go to school. So
very interesting.
I want to say with school, you could just get to a bare minimum where like you're not gonna die. Like the worst thing that could happen to me is like, we don't move any more deals in real estate. I stay with my rentals. I apply for an engineering job and I take it. Like
you have something to fall back.
Worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Like, you get me?
I don't think people will take you though.
They'll take me like that.
No, because like,
what?
Do you know all your stuff? Like if
I literally study for a month, I'll be back up there.
If they put you back in the field, would you be able to? Yeah, I would.
But this is the thing. I've met so many successful college students that are in debt, but they're not even doing what they went to school for.
Yeah.
Right here. I'm not in debt.
You're not in debt though. Me either. Thank God.
Yeah, but that is a
scholarships.
Lot. And nowadays it's even not affordable.
Yeah.
And when I was a project manager, everybody that graduated and came in to do my job, it's like they couldn't even do it, not because they were dumb or anything. It's they were book smart.
Yeah.
And I think you benefit more and you get ahead in your career by actually physically learning it and doing it. You're hands-on.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I want to say, and I don't know how you felt about this. So I graduated as an engineer, then I went to cybersecurity.
Okay.
But I couldn't really have an impact on the business, and that would frustrate me, right? Because I was, honestly, I felt like, oh, you have the title of an engineer, so go do this and test this and do this, and then we should be good to go. So I couldn't like use creativity to make it better or make it worse or anything. Like the company was too big already too, so it's just like I felt like I was like I'm never gonna have an impact here. I'm always I'm gonna get hired, and then I'll see older people, and I was like, wow, like that's gonna be me in 30, 40 years. Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like I cannot do this.
I same thing with me. I thought as an engineer, we were gonna use our creativity to create
like stuff,
something,
like
do an invention, like something that does not exist yet. And it's not like at the workforce. It's not like that. It's like, hey, here's for me at least, like, here are the plans. I want you to do what's on paper, put it on the computer. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like just tracing basically.
Right.
That was it. No impact.
Yeah.
No creativity used.
Yeah.
It's like I'm another, what do you call it?
You're pushing the paper.
Yeah, pushing papers basically.
And you're getting paid better
Paper
because you're an
pusher.
engineer.
Yeah.
So and that I think like, and I'm not saying freaking super smart or anything, but like you have so much brain power that I think is being wasted, and maybe like I don't know, that should change at some point. But that's why startups are cool. I think startups are cool. I mean, we're running one kinda, and like or if you're working like bleeding edge technology, or like you don't know if it's gonna work out or not. I think that's pretty cool. But like, I mean, how many jobs are like that?
Right.
There are not a lot of them.
No. And it keeps changing.
Yeah.
It keeps changing.
It changes all the time.
It does. I'm scared for our future. Well, not for ours, for our children's future.
They're gonna be
buy 10 homes. You don't have to worry about it. Just
Right.
be like, chill out.
I'm scared of that actually.
What?
Of giving, if I have kids, my kids, like everything.
Man.
I don't want to.
No, I don't think giving is the correct way to look at it. I think that as they're growing, what you've built, right, and you're going to hand it over to them. But as they're growing up, you're showing them how you built that. Okay, because that's the only way they're going to protect that as they grow, so they can pass it on to their kids. Because if you just give it to them without teaching them how you got it,
Exactly.
then you're doing a disservice to them.
Yeah.
So that's like with example for my daughter, she's marketing at me. She makes me proud. It's like, Mom, I want to show you what I know and let me help you. And she get like right
That's
now
cool.
that she's on break, right? So she sits with me. She looks for distressed houses. She enters them in my database. Yeah.
And that's awesome because honestly, I mean, at least to me, wholesaling, has to do with real estate, but it's not real estate. It's like marketing, sales.
Yeah.
That's what like wholesaling is to me.
Yeah.
So I think that's great.
I think I just discovered why we like creative finance.
Why?
Because you wanted to create something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted
Even the business is so challenging to have a business.
Right.
It's like you're just like, oh my God, like I have to do this and that, and let's try this, let's test this out. And sometimes you think it's gonna work out and it doesn't work out at all.
Yeah. And you make it your own. That's what's important. Once you learn the industry, you just got to make it your own. You got to figure out what works best for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stay and follow suit with what your mentors are telling you, because there's other ways that you can be more proactive. There's other ways where you can build your business quicker than what you're being taught.
And it always changes.
Always.
Like with text messaging, everyone started doing text blasting. Then like regulations came. Then that's goes to trash. Now AI's here. It's taking over. And is it not taking over? Oh, now it's illegal to do that. It just you're always evolving,
right,
and always growing.
But if you keep it old school and you pick up that phone,
oh yeah,
it's still there.
I want to say
door knock Xochi is better. Do you door knock Xochi?
No, I do not door knock. I am
Case closed.
okay. I'm scared of door knocking. I say. I'm being honest.
I was gonna say something.
Why Xochi?
I don't know. Times have changed. There's people that don't want to be
Just
bothered.
Door
in
knocking
it.
twain. That's
That was my first job when I was like, I think I was 7.
oh
8,
Jesus.
8. So we were selling newspapers.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this?
No.
That was my
That's
first
funny,
job.
though.
So you know how people post like a flyer on a post and you
Yeah.
pull the thing to call the number. So let's try it.
Yeah.
So I call the number, and then the guy explained to us, bro. My English was not great, so I understood like 20% of what he said. So we go there. Oh, he picks us up in a van, a white van. Right? And
Great. That's
and
not good now.
There's more kids there, right? I think I was 8 or 10. I wasn't 10 because I was still living in Long Beach. So I think I was 10. I wasn't that young. I was like 10, somewhere around there. I'll ask my cousin. My cousin went with me. So there was like more teenagers in the van. So this white guy picked us up, and they were saying, all right, so you guys are gonna sell newspapers. So you're gonna go door to door, and you're gonna tell them that you're selling newspapers to win a competition at your school, and the more newspapers you sell, the better your chances of winning, right? It was a lie. It was all about, it was a pitch, right? So and then on the way to wherever he was gonna drop us off, he was telling, oh, you're gonna say this and that. So I'm gonna pair you guys up with somebody experienced, and then you guys are gonna separate and do one door each. Like, okay, bro, my English was not that great, so I didn't understand half of what he was saying. But I did understand, like, hey, if you guys do good, we're gonna have to go jet skiing. Like, I understood that.
Jet ski.
You were selective on that.
So I'm gonna tell you. So one time we go door knock, and I was 100% with the person I partner up with. And he knocks on the door, and old white guy in his I think it was in his underwear or shorts. He's watching TV. He stands up like, "What do you want? Get out of here!" And then you could like, you hear that, and it was like we were very young.
And that's back in the day.
Yeah, and there was a screen door.
Yeah,
but very, very old guy. So as soon as he saw that, he like, let's go. We left. We left that complex. We were doing like not even houses. We were doing apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember we probably did like 20 houses, 20 knocks.
Yeah.
And I think he sold one, but he gave it to me. He told me, like, hey, Gio sold it. And then my cousin, like, we went together, and then they separated us. She went with another girl, and she did the same thing. I think they sold one as well. So that was my first job. I think I was
nice.
I think I was 10.
I can't.
Something like that. And yeah.
See, that's my fear. I'm like just getting somebody upset, and then they go pull a gun on me, whatever.
It's a mindset thing, Xochi. Like, you're helping.
I'm sorry. I'm good. I'll pick up the phone and call the agent.
A lot faster too.
Yeah. I'll play Ding Dong Ditch when I was young, but
that's about it.
That's about as far as I got.
I learned that in Mexico.
Yeah.
So here's another question, Xochi.
Yes.
What is a mistake people often make about you?
I get a lot that I'm scary. They look at me that I intimidate people, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, they think that I'm just a very hard, I don't know, person to approach.
Right.
I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I get that.
Why do you think?
I don't know, maybe the way I carry myself, but I'm usually pretty friendly. I'm just
usually keyword usually. When
I don't know.
she's by herself at her house, that's what usually happens.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know to answer that one, but I do feel I get that from some people. Like, I don't know, you just feel scary to approach you and ask you, and I'm like, why? I'm like,
that's so weird.
It is, because I don't think I'm a scary person.
It's your energy. I have that energy too. Right?
People say he does.
but I'm not.
The thing is,
I'm a listener though.
Yeah.
the thing is like
He can
he's
explain
very
it.
like dry. So people
Yeah.
are like, oh, like Gio doesn't like me. I'm like, no, that's just Gio.
Yeah.
Like you could have a full on conversation with Gio and you're expecting like something like feedback, and he'd be like, yeah, like
Oh, I
that's the
wasn't saying
feedback you
anything.
got. So that's
Uh-huh.
good. That's good. Like that's a good feedback. You know, he's not gonna engage more than what
Right.
he needs to. If there's a conversation, like let's say something he doesn't really care about, he's not gonna say anything about it.
Yeah.
He's not a person that's gonna engage just for the sake of engaging.
It has to be interesting
If
to
he
him.
doesn't care, he would be like
Yeah.
yeah or no, and
Or-
like that's it.
Or if I don't know anything about it, I just
Yeah.
stay quiet.
I don't
too.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what do you think? I don't,
But then once they start talking to me, they're all like, "Oh, you're just so nice and you're just like the coolest person." I'm like,
What do I look like, huh?
I
You
was
know?
like, so I don't know. I think now I try to change that in the fact that when I walk into a room and see people, I smile and say hi and greet,
Yeah.
maybe to kind of ease whatever it is. But yeah, I do get that a lot,
I don't.
especially around women.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't feel comfortable saying hi to people. I just walk in like, hey, what's up?
Really?
That's it. Yeah, like with soccer today.
Uh huh.
Just from far away. Like, how
Hi.
are ya?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. My parents raised me that way. I was no. I think because like I'm not very social.
Yeah.
Like on his party, I was very social, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw. Hey, you
No,
want
but
something?
I know.
You want something to drink? No. Oh, you want something to drink here? So,
Oh, yeah, I
but
saw- yeah.
usually I'm not. I'm like,
How can
Just
you
leave
not
me
be
alone.
social in this industry? You are
hey, that's how I
social.
am social.
No, you are social though. That's so.
No, no.
I
So
would
here, let me tell
disagree.
you why I think.
Okay.
So when I was in the U.S. from when I was born until 10,
Mm-hmm.
I was typically by myself. Like mom and dad and my sisters were in Mexico while I was in Long Beach.
Okay.
So typically I had no like my mom or dad were not there, so I would not
You didn't have
express
that
myself.
interference,
Yeah.
the communication.
yeah.
that
So I
family- yeah.
wasn't expressing myself how I
Yes.
think I should have. And I remember I would spend a lot of time in my room watching the Magic School Bus. I remember that. That's why I like science so much.
I just couple us the ball.
Yes, I remember that.
So I think, and I'm still like that way.
yeah.
At my house, I heard this comment the other day. Somebody, I think my sister asked the question, and I knew the answer, but I didn't
Yeah.
want to answer it. I waited for somebody, and then somebody else said, "Oh no." And my sister, why are you not answering? And then somebody responded, "Oh, he's just waiting for somebody else to answer your question." That was the
Wow.
response.
Hmm.
But I knew the answer, and
Yeah.
I if you say something to me, I think about it first. I have a filter in my head.
Yeah.
I don't just like spit it out what I think
Right.
I want to say.
Which is
I
good.
think about it and
That's
then I
good.
say it. That's why I'm so calm about stuff when you like
Yeah,
when you
I
get
know.
triggered.
Yeah.
I've
I filter it.
had to learn about
That's a good quality.
relaxing.
But
You have to go take a deep breath and do the whole kumbaya
woosah.
zen.
Yeah, I'm learning
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I have to learn to do that too.
It's hard though.
It's very hard.
you just
Yeah.
gotta smile more, Xochi.
I do smile a lot.
And then also maybe a facial features, because if you change the camera, bro. If you pay attention to my face,
Mm.
I typically I'm like this most of the
Mhm.
time. But when I've caught people telling me like, hey, like usually this is my rest bitch face, and I'm not like, right.
Yeah.
So you're like,
So people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I should have like for soccer today.
Yeah.
I should have put this player in instead of this player. I should have done that. But I'm thinking to myself like, oh
Right.
shit, I did this mistake. I should have done this.
Mhm.
But I'm just like focused in my own little world. And I don't, for some reason, I've caught myself a lot of times. I don't like to say hi to people when I arrive to a place. Like he does it.
Yeah, I
Like
do too.
he probably, like when he goes to my house, he probably says hi to my family more in a month than I do.
I say hi to everybody.
Yeah, me too.
I don't. I like,
Yeah.
what you
I
want?
introduce myself every day at your party.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
I'm Xochi. Even though my name took
They
me a
just
long
heard
time
you.
to love. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I always crucified my mom. Why? Why that name?
Talking about social stuff. Right?
Yes.
So here it is a key that I think as wholesalers and investors something like we need to look into.
Yes.
Sometimes like since time is money,
Mm-hmm.
of course. Sometimes you can kind of like cut a relationship or conversation short, right? Because like you need to go get your next deal, correct? But by doing that, you could potentially be hurting your relationship. How do you balance that? Because sometimes I could get stuck in conversations for hours, like is on hours or like minutes, but they keep adding up, right? But I've noticed lately, like George, and there's another investor. He's a Hispanic guy. Like I think he works in I think it's Montana. He has a lot of his properties. He'll tell me what he does for people, and he invests a lot of time but he enjoys doing that. So he enjoys taking care of people and like doing real estate deals, right? But people do deals with him because they like him. Mm-hmm. So what's the sweet spot? Like, or what do you think about that? Because you said buyers are important relationships to have.
Yeah.
So how do you nurture that, but without?
I think it's the conversation where it's leading, because sometimes we tend to go on conversations that don't even relate to what you called for.
Okay.
You get derailed into certain things. So I think it's more of trying to balance the approach of the conversations.
Yeah.
If you're calling direct for a question in specific that you have for them, then make sure that it comes across that way. So that's what I've learned. So if I'm calling to check up on them to see how they're doing, then the conversation is going to go lengthy just because you're calling to check up on them.
Yeah.
If you're calling just for a specific question or on a deal you're working with them, you got to make sure that when you enter that conversation, you're entering it exactly for what you're calling for. Yeah. But that's what I've noticed with my conversation. If I call them like, hey, how you doing? And start, with a conversation that, yeah, I know it's not going to be 5 seconds, 5 minutes. No, it's going to go. 30 minutes. So I think it's how you approach the conversations and how you want them to go, because you always want to be the leader in the conversation. Mm-hmm. And if you stay on top of that conversation, then when you can exit that conversation. Mm-hmm. But if you don't stay on top and you stay leading the conversation, potentially you can just be on that conversation for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah, and it might not even be beneficial stuff.
Productive,
yeah, you're just shooting the breeze, So I think that's where you could balance it out, how you're entering that conversation, just setting your mind up already like, okay, I'm calling them because I just need to know this. And then that's, you go in, you go, hey, Ray, hey, it's me. I just wanted to reach out real quick and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
Yes, I think it's how you approach the conversation. That's very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're good now.
Oh yeah, we're hella good.
Over an hour.
All right, perfect.
Oh wow, over an hour, huh?
Yeah.
An hour, 10 minutes.
So we're at top of that.
I told you.
Okay, cool.
Wow, it went by quick.
Right.
She said, "Oh, we're just gonna be here for 10 minutes, like an hour."
Yeah, nah, definitely not. We could have kept going.
Oh yeah.
When it gets good, it always
good.
keeps going. So,
Oh wow.
Xochi, thank you so much for being with us today. I hope that we get to do more deals together.
We're working on it.
I know.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go for it. And thank you for being you, and thank you for being with us. And honestly, like, thank you for supporting us, because you're always one of the first people to support us, like New Capital, me as Christian, and Gio. So thank you for that.
If people have questions about wholesaling, can they reach out to you?
Sure.
Where do they reach out to you?
My Instagram.
What is it?
That's Xochi Tellus, or the new one that my daughter just created, the Flawless RE.
Spell it. So spell your name, because I'm pretty sure people are not.
I think I have it phonetically as SOCHI_ and then Tellus, TELLES, or they can do the Flawless REI.
Flawless REI.
Let's do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to help anybody. I'm always here to make sure I guide them because, the more I educate,
The more you learn.
the more I learn, they learn, and then it makes it easier when I'm reaching out to agents. They have a good feeling about other wholesalers.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So I thank you guys for having me here.
No problem.
And I'm learning a lot from you guys. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but okay.
All right, guys. It's been real.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.